This is Joe and Cola. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and this one's going to be like no other because I have a special guest here, and I admire this special guest highly. He's a world-renowned fruit or tropical fruit expert. He's traveled the world in search of different tropical fruits. He has his own farm in Hawaii where he grows hundreds, if not thousands, of varieties of tropical fruits. He's all about no GMOs. He's all about local food. He's all about, getting fruit out to people because it is so delicious, and he's taken many, many years of his life to research tropical fruits, and in this episode he's going to share some of that knowledge for you. Now this episode is specifically designed for people that live in the tropics. If you live in the subtropics or somewhere else, some of these things are going to take longer to grow, and many of them you may not actually be able to grow at all. So today's episode is going to be very simply the 7 different fruits you can grow and produce from in under 3 years. I like to grow vegetables because literally within 30 days on some vegetables like radishes, you could be having the crop. On fruits, they take a little bit longer, but the benefits of the fruits is that once you grow the tree, they're there to stay, and they're going to be producing for you reliably year after year. I like that a lot. So let's turn it over to Ken, and we're going to share the first fruit you can grow and produce fruit in under 3 years.
Well, thanks very much, John. Boy, it's so hard to choose from when you have 250 different types of fruit to start with. But maybe first of all, I'd pick papaya. Now, papaya is not the quickest necessarily, but it's one of the most well-known. So from seed to fruit, it's in 2 years, and which is remarkably fast considering that it usually grows 10 feet within those 2 years.
So Ken, one of the things that concerns me about growing papaya, I love eating papaya, but now, I know in Hawaii they are GMOing papaya. So how can my viewers be safe and not grow GMO papaya?
Well, one of the things you have to do is find some of the local anti-GMO people who can do test kits for the papayas. You can go to HOFA, is Hawaii Organic Farmers Association, and often they have people who can help determine whether or not it is. There are some papayas that we know are from GMO, but papayas found in the wild, or sunrise papayas, which tend to be more red on the inside, those are usually 90% safe. So it takes a little while to determine it, but we have to work in that direction. And that's particularly on the Big Island. On other islands, there's a much better chance of getting non-GMO strains of papaya.
Thank you, Ken. So what's the second fruit you can grow in under 3 years and produce some fruit for you and your family to eat?
The second is probably my favorite, and that's fig. I mean, everybody knows figs, so if we're marketing them, just eating them, or we're marketing them at the farmer's market, everybody knows figs. Even kids know figs, and they're much better off with the fresh ones than some of the other things that are made with them. But figs are incredibly durable. First, you just need a cutting about 16 to 18 inches. You put it in some potting soil, and it grows. And within a year, you probably have a little fig on the top. It's really quick. Plus, as it grows up over time, you can espalier it along a wall. You can tie it to a fence. You can bend that branch down any way you want. I mean, figs in Japan are amazing. They come out of the ground about 15 inches, do a 90-degree turn, and then every 15 inches there's another vertical with each one of those has 20, 25 figs on it, and that'll go 50 feet.
Wow.
So it's really amazing what you can do. Plus, we're used to 1 or 2 types of figs. The USDA has 390 types of figs.
Wow.
You can pick from. And they range in flavor from honey with sesame seeds in it to raspberry jam, blackberry jam, just amazingly sweet.
Wow, you're making my mouth water there, Ken. I want to just taste some of those figs. But
Come visit.
I also want to encourage you guys to grow genetic diversity. Don't just grow that standard mission fig. Find some of these heirlooms and exotic ones. We need to keep these lines alive, these genetics alive, so that they can continue to be propagated and shared with others, so that these varieties, do not go the way of the West. So Ken, what's number 3 fruit that's gonna allow people to grow fruits within 3 years?
Another one of my favorites is, I was born year of the dragon, so naturally dragon fruit, So dragon fruit has, there's 2 main types of it, Hyloceras and Celenceras. Now Hyloceras are those pretty pink ones that you get, and sometimes they're white with little tiny black seeds on the inside. Sometimes they're dark purple on the inside, which tend to be a little sweeter and better. And then there's Celenceras, which is a yellow one and more commercialized type of dragon fruit in the tropics, and the only problem is it has thorns. But to brush those thorns off, is worth it because it's 10-15% sweeter than the pink skinned ones. And once it's so incredibly diverse, what you can do with it and eat it in terms of smoothies and shakes and dressings. And you can, if you want to juice it with one of your machines, you can take the seeds out, you can leave the seeds in. I mean, in dragon fruit, I really love the seeds. It adds a little bit of texture and thickness. And well, you'll love some of these yellow ones. You got to come and try them.
Yeah, no, I've tried many varieties of dragon fruit. They're definitely my favorite if you get a good one. And I want to encourage everybody to leave their fruit on the vine, let them ripen to peak ripeness when they got the peak sugar content, but also the peak nutrition, higher flavonoids, higher antioxidants, etc. So, Ken, what's fruit number 4?
Fruit number 4 is Poha, which you might know as Cape Gooseberry. It's called Physalis peruvianus, and it's a husk tomato. I mean, a husk cherry. It comes in a little paper husk. Some of its close relatives are tomatillo, Japanese or Chinese lantern plants. But Poha, especially from the upper elevations in Hawaii, 1 to 2 years before you get a couple of fruit, and it just expands from there. But it's incredibly sweet. It tastes almost like an orange, little orange juice, caramel texture to it. I mean, it's just an amazing thing to add to anything or just to pop in your mouth. It's a great, if I'm working out in the fields, and there's Poha is usually spread wild by the birds, so although you can plant the seeds, it's not a problem. But it's just an energy booster. I'm just going to pop a couple of those, and it gives me the energy to keep going.
Yeah, I love the Poha Berry. I grow them in California in a subtropical environment. Even in my greenhouse, I can keep them alive year-round, and they continue to produce through the winter. The way I like to harvest them, I actually let them turn on the vine and actually drop to the ground. That's when they're fully, completely ripe and going to have the best flavor I found. So, Ken, what's number 5?
Number 5, I would say, would be passion fruit.
I love the passion fruit.
I know you're
Have some
passionate
passion.
about it. I know you're passionate about what we call lily koi. Lily koi comes in yellow, purple, mixes of those colors, and actually there's thousands of types of passion fruit plants, passion flower. Now don't all produce edible fruit, but the ones we're used to, Passiflora edulis flavocarpa is the most common one in Hawaii, and it's just a yellow kind of tangy one. There's Lemmy Vi, or what they call Jamaican passion fruit, and it's kind of an orange sweet one. But yeah, it's great for a barrier too, because you can grow it up on a wall, on a vine. It's a vine. It can grow up trees. We used to plant it to keep out invasive species from the jungle moving into the farm. So what do you do? Like when there's the trees behind us, there you just plant passion fruit everywhere, and it just blocks all of the stuff from coming in.
I love the passion fruit, especially the Jamaican ones. I first actually had those in Hawaii. So, Ken, what's number 6?
Number 6 is bananas. Everybody loves bananas. And again, what you were saying before about genetic diversity is incredibly important with bananas. And in addition to the diversity and protecting the future of all bananas, we also need to protect different endangered ones now, like some of the original Hawaiian bananas. And one of the ways to do that is if you have a banana patch, you have to take out the babies, or we call keikis, and plant them someplace else. Because the banana rhizome, which has all of the trees in it, it's just one common root basically, that's a magnet for the borers and other insects who just drill into it and eventually cause the end of the plant. But if you take out those small ones with the clean rhizomes, move them 50, 100 feet away, and you're going to get another stand, and that's going to perpetuate those bananas and keep them healthy, and that's really important. We also have close to 100 of them on the Big Island, and around Hawaii, and there's the regular Cavendish type. There's yellow bananas. There's blue bananas called ice cream bananas. We have 3 types of red bananas. We have a striped banana. We try it Ko'ai or Manini or Ai, as we call it on the Big Island, and it's green with white stripes in it.
Wow.
Just amazing. And from starch to sweet, you can get every range. Some of them, when they're fully ripe, you get a little gelatin pocket in the middle of it.
Oh, wow.
Popo'ulu. Oh, okay, it's incredible. Just incredible.
Wow, so many different kinds of bananas, and once again, if you guys buy bananas in the store and you don't like the taste of bananas, I mean, Ken will tell you, I'll tell you, bananas off the plants are totally incredible. They're slowly ripened instead of gas, and they ripen fast, and they don't get the full flavor. And you're only getting one variety that may not be grown in like good rich soil, that you're not going to get the total flavor of what a banana is. I mean, so important to grow your own food, to secure these varieties, to get them spread out, and also to have new taste sensations. So, Ken, we're down to number 7. What's the last plant?
Oh boy, number 7. Number 7 is probably what Hawaii's been known for hundreds of years, and that's pineapple. I mean, historically, you just cut the top of the pineapple off, put it in the ground. 2 years, you got a fruit.
Wow.
It's that simple. And usually, even store-bought ones, if you get it at a farmer's market or it's a good organic quality pineapple, you just take that top off, you put it in the ground, and wait. Now pineapples, like bananas before them, are heavy feeders, so they like to have mulch and good organic matter in the soil with them.
And once again, just like all the other varieties of fruit that we talked about, there's many different cultivars or varieties of all of them. You guys know about the apples. They got Fuji apples, granny apples, all different kinds of apples. There's all different kinds of the pineapples as well. I remember Ken brought one time some white sugar pines to California with him from Hawaii, and we tasted them, and they were amazing. So I want to encourage you guys to just reach out and find different and new varieties. The sugar pines were the sweetest pineapples I've ever tasted.
Definitely melts in your mouth. It's just incredible.
Yeah, so you want to research about some of these rare and unknown cultivars, try to get them, grow them in your garden, and spread those and give the plants to others so that we could all grow them and stay safe and keep the genetic diversity. So, Ken, do you have any last words you want to talk about the GMOs? Because I know that's a big issue for you.
Well, it is. It's really something that we all have to become more aware of. We all have to work to protect the genetic diversity, protect the future of our land, and protect the future of ourselves. If we have to be against GMO. Otherwise, it's impossible.
Once again, I want to remind you guys what GMO is all about. Basically, GMO is like me trying to have sex with a fish or something like that and create a fish man. I mean, that's what a GMO is. It's not like me, trying to get with like, a ethnic woman from some other ethnicity of myself. That's kind of like just regular crossbreeding and hybridization, which can't occur naturally. This is something totally artificial that would never happen in nature. And in my opinion, it's definitely not a good thing. So you definitely want to avoid the GMO seeds. Get tested papaya seeds if you're going to grow them to make sure they're not GMO, because we don't want to propagate any more of those than absolutely necessary that they're doing on their own without our help. Once again, this change will start from the bottom up, not the top down, and we need to save the genetic diversity and the heritage. So I always encourage you guys to save your own seeds, pass them on to friends and family and others so that we can continue to grow and spread the genetic diversity. Ken, I really want to thank you for your time today.
Yeah.
And I want to let my viewers know that Ken has produced some amazing posters with all different varieties and rare varieties and cultivars of different things like figs and papayas and fruits from the Big Island. And how can some of my viewers find out more about your important work, Ken, and buy your posters there?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, HawaiiFruit.net. And it's that simple, and it's an old-fashioned website, no frames or bells or whistles, but you can just go in there. There's a poster section, and that'll give you links so that you can see all the posters. Even at the end of that page, there's you drop down and you just see the 4 seasons. And if you click on spring, you'll get a little printable and decent resolution guide to the spring fruits that are available in Hawaii. So all 4 seasons are there. Plus, all the posters are available through localharvest.org.
Awesome, Ken. So I appreciate your time spending with me today, and I hope to have Ken on in future episodes sharing more about his knowledge on the tropical fruits and fruits that are grown around the world. He's traveled so much. He is an encyclopedia of tropical fruits sitting right next to me. I'm so honored to be interviewing him, and hopefully you guys, glean some information that's going to help you grow more fruits at home. Once again, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, keep on growing.